What is up, dudes? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna have a pretty chill video. We're actually not working on the G35 today. I'm gonna be working on answering all of your guys' questions because you guys had a ton of questions throughout the entire rebuild process. Like, how much did this cost? How much time did it take? What did you, where did you, when did you, how did you? Listen, I'm gonna go through all your questions right now. I put up a post on Instagram about yesterday and you guys filled that up, gave me a whole bunch of questions. So I'm gonna go through all the questions that you guys had. I'm gonna shout you guys out real quick and I'm gonna be answering some questions about the G35. Except for one question I'm not gonna answer, and that's how much did it cost? Because the answer is a lot. But I'm gonna be making a separate video for that. So you guys are gonna see that soon. I wanna do like a full breakdown. I'm scared of the total number, guys. I'm scared of the total number. Honestly, I know where it kind of sits because I know where like the number might be at because I'm the one that fucking spent the money, but it was a lot. Just know that it's a lot. So we're gonna figure out if it was worth it in the end. Obviously, probably in the next video, I'm gonna answer that question. But for now, we're repping that OG Haggard Garage merch. I don't know if you guys ever watched Haggard Garage. I always thought that channel was fucking awesome until they all split up, which kind of sucks. But I still watch Ricer Miata. He's pretty fucking cool. He actually lives like 30 minutes from me, which is pretty cool. Pretty dope to do a video with him. Any of you out there know Ricer Miata personally, hit him up. I'm trying to do a video with him real quick. Anyway, so before we get into today's video, I'm gonna plug the merch website real quick. If you guys want some sweet air fresheners that smell super good, it's got a nice little G35 design on there, or some sweet G35 booty jet tags. They're not too expensive. Head over to DoubleASupply.com. You guys can support this build and rock some sweet merch. You guys can also get 20% off with the code HOMIEHOOKUP. So head over there, save some money. So first question comes from Inertia04. He's asking me, what cam specs are you running? So right now I'm running the JWT S7 cams. The S7 cams are 262s and they come with 11.43 millimeters of lift. So they're a little bit larger and they're really good for boosted applications, which I really had no idea when I did my NA build. I was just trying to get, you know, better cams and some more oomph out of them, and I ended up getting ones that are best for boost, and here we are, boost life, so kind of a good move on that part. So yeah, they're 262s, 11.43 millimeters of lift. It's the JWT versions. They're a little bit more expensive than the Tomeis, but I think as far as JWT being a brand, they're a good brand. Right off the bat, they offer about 18 to 24 horsepower, so that's pretty cool. We got One Way Blas asked, how come you decided to go with the G35? Like, why not any other car? What made it so special? So way back in high school, I had one of my buddies, Diego. Shout out to you, Sir Diego. He had a G35 and I was like, yo, that car looks fucking badass. The car sounds amazing. It must be fast, blah, blah, blah. My first car was a Toyota Celica and I wanted a rear wheel drive car. I wanted to go drifting. I wanted to have fun with it. So I couldn't really do that with a front wheel drive Celica. So I ended up selling my Celica and I bought an automatic 06 G35 and I drove it for about a year and a half. I loved it, but I wanted some more fun out of it. So I ended up selling it, getting a manual and transferred all my parts over, and then that's when the original build began. But to answer the question, mainly the design, the sound, and after driving it for a year and a half with the automatic, I kind of fell in love with it, so it just kind of went from there. I got Tudov asking, what do you think about meth and E85 mix? I don't know shit about gas. Honestly, I'm sticking with the E85. You can make a ton of power off E85. E85 is accessible anywhere in the United States. A little more rare than gasoline, but you can still find it pretty much everywhere in every city. So that's why I'm going with E85. Don't really know too much about the whole meth or anything like that, methanol. Nah, I ain't about that life. DQ35 Alex, if you could do it all again, would you have done a different kit altogether or used different parts? What would you have done? If I could do it all again, I would have gone with another kit. I probably would have gone with a single turbo kit. I hear the Soho kit is a lot easier to install, sounds amazing, and you can make some good power off of it. Soho is a pretty good kit. After seeing a couple cars that Renan at Leonardo Auto Performance was doing, it looked super simple, and honestly, I kind of wish I went that route, but I'm not knocking the Greddy Twin Turbo at all. I was just missing a couple of pieces that came with the kit, which made it a little bit more difficult for me to install, but when I'm driving it, it sounds amazing, especially with the HKS blow-off valve. But yeah, turbo spooling, all that shit sounds amazing. I took it on the highway last night, mint. I can't wait to start hitting boost because it's going to start really sounding good. How much horsepower do you think you're going to make by just another SI? I'm aiming for 600. I don't know if my fuel pump, the 485 Walbro fuel pump, is going to be able to output that much, but I think we'll be able to get away with it. So 600 horsepower is what I am aiming for. The car is pretty much built safely for 650, so if I can run it just a little bit under that and keep it real safe, then I'm down for that. Fake Skyline says, how bad is a flamethrower map for your engine? I'm looking to get a tune soon. So a flamethrower map pretty much destroys your exhaust system. It just coats it completely. All your O2 sensors get coated with a bunch of black debris and whatnot. It's not really too good for the car. I don't really have a scientific or knowledgeable answer for you guys. I just know that it's not too good for the engine. Especially when you have turbos, because turbos sit in the exhaust and it's not very nice for them. Steven G35, how much horsepower? Right now, probably like 240 to the wheels. It ain't shit right now. Until I get it tuned, that's when we're gonna be making some power. Z33 Adrian asks, how or where did you learn to do everything for your motor? www.youtube.com, baby. No, seriously, I like everything that I know about the engine and learning about how to put it together and how to build it from scratch is literally just from YouTubing and Googling everything. Like as far as all of the OEM instructions on how to remove this, replace that, torque spec this, all of that is, you know, all of the technical information comes out of the OEM manual, which you can find at nicoclub.com. For the 350Z, they have a VQ35 section that you can get the manual and figure out how to do all your timing and this and that, and it explains how to do everything pretty much in detail as far as that. But also videos like of people removing their engine and actually tearing it down. I can visually see what they're doing, and that helped me out a ton. After doing the NA build and getting all the experience from the first NA rebuild, I definitely used that knowledge, applied it to my turbo build, and it helped me a ton and saved me a lot of time because I knew a little bit more shortcuts here and there. So I'm glad that I was able to make those videos and also show you guys, so maybe you guys can learn a thing or two. KXNG Mando asked me, next version of the G come with a wide body, how you feel about where it's at now? How I feel about where it's at now, huge weight off my shoulders. I'm glad that it's running and running really good. As far as wide body, I don't know if you mean like the newer version of the G is coming with wide body, or just like my G, if I'm gonna wide body it. I'm not gonna wide body it. I don't wanna do that. I wanna track the car. I wanna, you know, beat it up a little bit more. But I don't really want to wide body it and go kind of like stance like that, just because it's not as functional as it would be this way. I mean, I guess it really is. Honestly, it probably is. But I don't want to add wheel spacers and do all that shit. I've already got my wheel and tire set up. I've already got my suspension set up. I'm gonna leave it just the way it is, but I want to make it look real nice on the outside. So that's gonna be coming in the future. So 35 Bry QN asked me, what made you choose a twin turbo setup over a single? Any benefits, pros, cons? I think I made a video a little while back and explaining like why single or why dual, and I went with a dual setup only because I got a really good deal on this Greddy Twin Turbo setup. Also, the turbos are fairly big. They're out of like the old Evo, and they're about 49 millimeters, and they can, like, the kit itself can hold up to about 900 horsepower, which is insane. I'm definitely not gonna be pushing that much in this car. So I'm happy to have a kit that can go above and beyond what my actual power goals are. But being that Greddy's a really good brand, that's also why I went with it. Twin turbo, as far as the G35, is they spool faster. You'll be going into boost faster. However, you may be able to make more power out of a single turbo just a little bit later in the power band. And these cars, they already unleash a beast at like 4,500 RPMs. So I'd like to be building boost a little bit earlier and start getting a little bit more power in the lower end. That would be cool. So that's the benefit for me in going twin turbo. Rad_G35, he asked me, would you do it again? Fuck no, I wouldn't do this shit again. That was a pain in the ass. I'm glad this shit is done. I would probably do it again in another car and start learning another chassis and things like that. Would I turbo another G35? If anything, God forbid, knock on metal, if anything happens to this one, yeah, I probably would do it to another G35. I probably would, if just so I can have my personal G35 back, but hopefully nothing happens. Let me get this washing machine out of the freaking view. What are you doing, Aaron? Eric Ludlow asked me, how many gaps are you handing out? I'm handing out nothing. Everybody gapping me right now. Everybody and their mother is gapping me right now. Everybody pulling up to me. They're like, yo, how much boost you running? I'm like 3 PSI because I'm breaking it in right now and it's not even tuned. And they're like, oh, but that shit's sick though. So I'm not handing out no gaps right now. But after it's tuned, we're gonna come back to that question. Oct J asked me, would you ever try to push for a 4-digit number in horsepower? Also, any new exterior mods coming? 4 digits in a G35? No way. No. No. I'm gonna be, as a street car, I'm gonna be spinning at 500 wheel horsepower. Like, it's not happening, especially when it comes to 4 digits. Like, if I went 2JZ and then went all out, fully built motor and all the possible add-ons you can do to a 2JZ, then yeah, maybe I'll push for it. Like, yeah, I got 1,000 horsepower Supra in my G35, but no. No, not going for 4 digits. As far as exterior mods, yeah, we're gonna be revamping the entire exterior. We're gonna be making it look real good. I just wanna make sure everything is perfect with the engine and all that stuff as far as mechanical and the way that it's mechanically running and horsepower wise. So yeah, we're gonna make it look sick soon enough. So stay tuned for the future because we're gonna make it look dope. My buddy Goldballer, how's it running so far? Great! What part of the whole build had you the most frustrated, says Mike Valentine? Bro, every single part of this build was annoying as fuck. I think the most annoying part was having to put the engine and the transmission into the car and having to clear the steering column. I could have just unbolted the steering column, got it out the way, made it a little bit easier, but I was putting it in myself. Now listen, I'm also really stubborn, so I could have asked for help, so it's really all on me. But that was the most annoying. Second annoying was putting the cold side on and how it wasn't fitting with my power steering hardline. I was able to get that cut and had to kind of bend it out the way, then the flange started leaking, then I had to reseal it. That was the most annoying, putting all the cold side on. But a lot of people who got these kits didn't seem to have that issue. It was able to clear it just barely because they have a power steering hardline reroute to move that hardline out of the way and bring it somewhere else out of the way of the cold side, but that didn't come with my kit. And most of these secondhand kits, it's not coming with it. I don't know why, but it don't. So that was the most annoying. So I got at Boosted DE. He's also doing a Greddy Twin Turbo kit, same exact kit. He's been asking me a bunch of questions on it, and it's pretty cool because I just did it. Everything's kind of fresh on my memory, so I'm able to help him, like where this goes, where that goes, and things like that. Because the Greddy instructions suck, man. You pay 10, 12 grand for this kit brand new, and it comes with the instructions that it comes with. I'm like, bro, that doesn't tell you anything. But yeah, he says, what are your goals right now as far as the build goes? What's your next step? My goal right now is to get this thing tuned and start ripping it. I'm trying to make 600 horsepower. That's my goal right now. Next step is making it look real clean, doing the interior, doing the exterior, starting to make it like a real clean street car, and just nice to bring to some meets here and there. I'm not really a big meet person, but I like to just feel good driving it, you know, make it look nice and things like that. That's gonna be the next step. Dat boy Coop, did you ever think about going HR instead of a build DE? Hell yeah, I did. I mean, those HRs can hold up to like 600 horsepower, maybe even more than that, boosted stock. So I was really thinking about it. The only thing I didn't want to do was change up my entire harness and change up my computer and other things that go with that. That's just headaches and getting the cluster to work and things like that. It's just, I didn't want to go through all that. So I decided to go with the built DE route because it's a rev up DE and everything works. The computer, I can stick with my UPREV tune, I can stick with the stock ECU, I can stick with the stock harness, everything plug and play, ready to go. So that's why I stuck with the DE and built it. Null35, he asked me, do you think anyone can take on a blind turbo build, or you got lucky with resources? Oh man, you really got to know about cars, obviously, to kind of, if you're gonna piece everything together yourself. But if you're getting a kit, it's pretty much plain and simple. If you know basics about cars, you install the manifold, you install the cold side piping, you install the hot side piping, you install your blow-off valve, your boost solenoid, your gauges, and you're pretty much ready to go. I didn't know nothing about turbo cars, like literally nothing, and I jumped into it Googling and YouTubing and asking people, what the fuck is this? What is that? What do I do here? How do I do this? And it all kind of fell in place, and that's how you learn things. You just gotta dive into it. You gotta start asking people questions and just start Googling your questions, YouTubing your questions. Even on other cars, like turboing a car is pretty much all the same. Each car has just its own unique installation and things like that. So having the resources and the community that I do, I would just ask people on Instagram, you know, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about that? Blah, blah, blah. And I would love your guys' feedback. Like, that resource to me is a huge help. So huge shout out to all you guys that help me out. But just ask questions. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you put your mind to. You just gotta start doing it. You gotta start somewhere, and you gotta learn where to start, and then you just progressively learn as you go. So that's it. How did the transition from NA to boosted feel? Was it worth all the headache? The car's not tuned yet, so I really don't know. I have been hitting boost up to 5 pounds, and the sounds, oh my god, it's fucking amazing. I love the sounds. The fucking blow-off valve, the turbo spooling, amazing. And you can actually feel the boost kicking in a little bit, but my car's not tuned yet, so it's not really running for a decent amount of boost, so I really don't know yet. I'll be able to answer that question better once it's tuned. That's from Issa G Thang. Ryan Drade, are you gonna put your Karuma Z bumper back on? Bro, my Karuma Z bumper got fucking destroyed in my car accident. I have no bumper right now, so I'm gonna be putting a bash bar on here. I was thinking about fabricating a real nice bash bar and putting some LED side markers on it, making it look pretty cool. But I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do as far as the bash bar, and if I can even fit a bumper on here, then yeah, I might get a new Karuma Z or the updated GT bumper from VIS Racing, which is pretty sick. I got Ricardo Iscarter, he's like, why not something a little less hassle like a supercharger kit? Number one, I love turbos. Like, turbo sounds and the way that you feel the boost come on is just, it's a different feel, and it's just like, it's really more so personal preference. I much rather feel the boost of a turbo and hear the turbo sounds than hearing my engine whine and feeling that constant, that almost instant boost coming from a supercharger. it's really all personal preference. You can make a lot of power off of a supercharger, and it is less hassle. Like, you don't have to worry about changing up your exhaust system. It's just all belt driven and everything as far as a supercharger. I think in the end, turbo is just a little bit better as far as noise and the way the boost comes on. But for these G35s, honestly, it's pretty healthy for them to be supercharged as well. So it's another good route, but since I was already building the motor and going for super high horsepower, I think turbo was the best route. Plus, I didn't really want an easy way out as far as going for boost. I wanted to do something that was really challenging for me, and that was turbo all the way. Super fucking challenging. Jake Mel, do you think that twin is harder than a single turbo? Yeah, maybe, just because of the positioning that they have to be in. There's really no space when you're working with these vehicles. You could probably fit a single turbo somewhere else a little bit easier than fitting the twins like I did. But yeah, I think a single turbo, depending on the kit, like if it's a Turbonetics kit, those usually come, you gotta do a bunch of fabrication with those because they don't really fit correctly every time. But I went with a Greddy kit. Everything fit, you know, the way it needed to be. I had to trim a couple things here and there just because I was missing some parts out of the kit. But single turbo would probably be a little bit easier, but depends on the kit. Really depends on the kit and the manufacturing of it. Harold's Garage asked me, how much PSI will it run? As much PSI that I need to get to 600 horsepower, to be honest with you. It could be 15, it could be 20. I don't really know. I'm not trying to over push it. But I know that with the built motor, especially after breaking it in like I have been pretty well, I should be able to get, you know, a decent number up there. But whatever much PSI will bring me to 600 horsepower, that's what I want. That's what I want right there. EG Whip asked me, what's your one tip to have anyone turboing their VQ for the first time? Their one tip, do a shit ton of research. Like, look up everything from the boost solenoids to the blow-up valves to the turbo piping to the brand of kit that you want. Like, just do a bunch of research. Try to wrap your head and understand what turboing is for a vehicle. That's pretty much it. Just do as much research as you possibly can. This way you can minimize any errors that you make down the line. It's Jack says, race Nitish 21. Bro, Nitish will probably whoop me, boy. He's got way more experience, you know, driving his boosted G35. I'm gonna be scared of my G35 once it's actually making some power, so that would be cool. But he lives super far away, but I would love to meet up with him, chat with him, and get a race in. That would be sick. I would love to. White Walker Z33, do you need a Mishimoto oil cooler when boosting a VQ35 DE? You need an oil cooler in general, because even just when tuning your car, you're gonna want to get an oil cooler, even if it's not even boosted. But oil cooler definitely helps as far as keeping that oil nice and cool. It makes a huge difference in keeping the temperatures cool based off of just a stock oil cooler that's in the G35. So honestly, if you're just gonna tune your G, get an oil cooler. It could be a Mishimoto, it could be a Z1, like it doesn't matter the brand. Just get a good one. Just get a good one. Hector.RDGZ, he says, if you were to do it with a different turbo kit, which one would it be? It would probably be with a Soho single. I don't know if they come for the G35. I know they come for the 370Z, but I'd probably go with a Soho for sure. LabGeeks_JD on the beat. One, he says, how long did it take for you to get the money for this? Credit card swipe, boy. I'm still paying for this shit. Tony_420SD. Hydraulic e-brake coming, possibly short shifter. Yeah, bro, I'd love to do all that shit. I'd have to go to a whole new set of Akibonos for the rear so I can set up that dual caliper. But that would be cool. Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, it's not really a drift build, but I would love to just have an e-brake and rip the shit out of it whenever I want. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Short shifter. I mean, the shifter is already pretty short on the stock CDO9 transmission. So maybe in the future I'll get another one. It won't really make it any more shorter, but it'll probably make it more notchy and easier to put in gear, I guess. NOE295 says, when are you getting it tuned? Martin from RS Enthalpy, he's my tuner. He's actually here in Miami right now, and I'm trying to fit, and I'm hoping somebody canceled on him so I can fit it in because he's here in Miami. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so I'm pretty close by to him. He's usually up in Tampa, and that's where I was gonna tow the G35 up there to get it done up there. That's where I towed it up to get it tuned at the NA build, and it was a fun trip. I love the trip. I love traveling, so it was fun. I don't mind going up there, but if he can fit me in and he's closer and I can get it done this week, that would be amazing. That would be a sick video. So if not this week, probably in the next couple of weeks we'll get it done. It's Gibbs. He says, was it honestly worth it? And after all the sweat and money, was it the thrill you thought it would be? I don't know yet. It's not tuned. Honestly, I've just been loving driving the G35 after having it down for about a year since the accident. We got it up one time during the NA build, but after tuning it, I only had one day of having fun with it and drifting it. And then it blew up, it got rod knocked. So honestly, right now, it's already worth it just driving the car. Like, knowing that I built this and I put all this together, it's an amazing feeling. So yeah, I definitely say it's worth it. And then once it's tuned and I'm actually making crazy horsepower, forget about it. I'm gonna have the craziest smile on my face. I can't wait to get some reactions in the next couple of videos of friends and family, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Stay tuned, guys. Henrique Diaz 835, where'd you get your wastegate springs from? They came stock in the Tile 30 wastegates. They came with the Greddy Twin Turbo kit. So yeah, they're about 5.5 PSI stock. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm running at. Maxing out right now is about 5.5 PSI. How much money have you thrown into the Turbo G35? Lee asked me. That's gonna be in the next video. Hold up. Oh, and G35 asked me, what front bumper are you gonna put on the G35? It's gonna be probably that VIS Racing GT front bumper. Alex GVQ asked me, what car would you sell your G before you added the twin turbos? Like if I wasn't gonna turbo my build and I was gonna get rid of the G35, which would never happen, I would probably get like a 370. Or even a G37 or even a Q. Those would be really fun to build, but I think more so towards the 370 route. And I really like what Nor TM did, and he did a VR30 swap DDTT in his 370. That's gonna be a sick build. I'm excited for that. Miguel Madrigal 1 asked me, is there a difference between boosting a rev up or boosting a regular DE? So regular DE, I think people tend to boost more often. I really don't know why. It's hard, like I rarely see any rev ups get boosted. Maybe because the rev ups can handle higher RPM. Maybe they have a higher chance of blowing up. I really don't know, but we're gonna find out. That's pretty much all the questions that I got from the little Instagram post that I put up yesterday. Now, if you guys have any other questions, feel free, hit me up in the DMs on Instagram, DoubleAG35, or let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions as far as the whole twin turbo build. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys watched it all the way through, I appreciate you guys a ton. Make sure you guys go cop some merch if you guys want to support the build at DoubleASupply.com with the code HOMIE, for 20% off. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button, and I'm gonna answer that famous question of how much it cost. I'm still scared for that freaking number, but I'm gonna answer that question in the next video. Make sure you guys take it easy. Be safe, and don't get COVID. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Take care.